Hi there, I am Susie Pepper Rollins. I'm the author of Learning in the Fast Lane and Teaching in the Fast Lane. And we're going to be talking about learning targets today, but a different way to do them. Because let's think about what it's like for a student in their normal day. They go to social studies and learn about Andrew Jackson. And then they go to language arts and someone killed a mockingbird and there's something about a metaphor. Go to math, it's translations, dilations, and rotations. Then they head on over to health. It's about ovaries and fallopian tubes. That's pretty exciting. Now they go to PE where they learn about badminton and they round out the day in art with it, whether it's Manet or Monet. They head home on the bus. Mom says, "What'd you learn in school?" And the student says, "What?" "I couldn't possibly tell you. Something about Andrew Jackson's ovaries." That's my old joke. It is a blur all day long. If it's secondary, they get up and move, but the same thing in elementary. The subject matter just keeps coming at them, right? How do they keep it straight? A lot of them don't. So what I'm going to talk about today is getting them involved in their standards, getting them involved in their learning targets, making them explicit, and bringing them into our world. Now, what have we traditionally been doing in schools for quite some time? The posted standard. The posted standard. I can find whole number quotients and remainders with 4-digit dividends and 1 dividend using strategies based on place value of the properties. No. What did you learn in math today? I couldn't tell you. Let me show you a different way that I do it. And I've been preaching this for 8 years, so if you haven't been in the pews, I'm glad you're here today. One of my favorite teachers in the whole world, this is Susie Maddox's class. She teaches 5th grade math. Now look what she does. This is what we call standards walls. We have the main idea in the middle. She's got how can I use fractions, whole numbers, and mixed numbers to solve problems. Now, what does Miss Maddox have out here? She has itemized like 5 different learning targets. She's going to take these students on a journey. We're going to start over here, then we're going to move here, then we're going to go here. Now, look what else she does. They check off when they've reached it, and we put some work up there. This really creates a memory map. It helps students know where they are. This is their GPS for what they're supposed to learn. Now, this is 5th grade math. I'm going to start in math, then I'm going to show some other subjects as well. This photo here I actually used in my last book, Teaching in the Fast Lane. It's from Mr. Powell's 6th grade math class. Now this looks like a lot when you first see it, but you got to know the story behind it. The very first time I was in there, all that was there was this and a few targets because Mr. Powell was opening the unit. Because standards walls are from a unit perspective, not just today. So when I first walked in, he opened his unit, he had his targets explained to the student, and they embarked on their first learning target. Lucky me, I got to go back in Mr. Powell's classroom when he was closing or ending the unit. So I walk in and I see this beautiful standards wall. He's got them checked off. They've got examples of students' work. This is their map, their roadmap for success that they've been on. Compare this to what? Posting the standard, right? Now let me show you something super cool. This is from a school in Gainesville City Schools. Now I blew this up, but this was actually on a student's tablet. What this teacher's done is took this concept of standards maps and put it on their tablets, pushed it out, and he's actually made it interactive so that the students tap on their learning target and they know where they are and they know the work that's behind each learning target. So you can do these digitally. I was in another district in which the students, when they met their target, it like shaded it in for them. So I think that's a super cool way to go. Now let's move on to high school. Here's a high school standard a teacher did in one of my sessions. You can see it's from a session and not class because we're not checking off yet. But what she's got in the middle is linear functions. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be graphing that. And she goes around and she's got all of this lined up for the students and they're going to go on this journey together. In the very same session, a different high school teacher chose this approach, which is what I want to show you because different ways to do this. This teacher decided on quadratics. We've got 3 verbs, factor solved, and then she put underneath there where they're going. So that's a different way. Oh, before I forget, guess what? I put these pictures and a ton of other pictures up on MyEdXpert for you. So if you just go to myedexpert.com, type in Susie Pepper Rollins, and it's Susie, S-U-Z-Y, I've created a PowerPoint of all pictures. I've just got a million on there so you can see what these look like. So don't feel like you got to not be able to see everything. Let's go to a different subject area. I like this one from a social studies teacher's perspective. Sorry about that. Social studies teacher's perspective. Just about every social studies teaches those 5 themes of geography. So what this teacher did is took their verbs. They're going to determine this. We're going to have cause and effect of this. and they're going to go all around. And I love the way he's itemized even Mesopotamia, Egypt, India. So he is mapping out on a unit basis, hey guys, this is where we're going. Now, if I keep portfolios, whether they're digital or paper, I like to have this wall in the front, and then the students can display what they've learned so that it's all so organized. I've done these for many years, and I'll tell you one thing that I'll hear back from sessions is when we go to give a test, and this wall's, we take it down off the wall, the students stare at the wall. They can remember it because it's so visual. I was in this lovely teacher's classroom not long ago. This is Miss Oglesby. She's in Greene County, high school science, and she's got a different way. She is teaching the circle of life. She's got her big essential question in the middle about the flow of energy, and she's got her I can statements. But do you not love the way she's checking them off as we go? Hey students, this is where we are, and you know what? When we finish our journey, we're going to know this. This is our big assessment here. And when I'm making my walls, I can step back and think, where might I want to do some soft formative assessments? Where are we going to have a more summative one? And it really helps me plan that. Here's that one from social studies that I also liked, because this was a session where the teachers, when they were working, kept thinking, how are we going to do this? And I got to watch their thinking. This is on the structures and functions of the U.S. government, a really big topic. They have it down by legislative branch, executive branch, judicial branch. They've pulled their verbs out, remembering the verbs are part of that rigor, right? And they've gone through and mapped this out for the students. That's such a beautiful example. Let's look at some language arts. Do you not love the way this teacher has laid out her sentence unit? In the beginning, she's got how can varying my sentence structures enhance my writing? And she has identified sentence. Great, keep on going. Edit other people's writing. Super duper, here we go. Develop this. Awesome, let's go here. And at the end of this, what she's wanting to see is how can varying my sentence structures make my writing better? I love that wall. I did this blow up for you so you can kind of see. This was the corner of one. And what I love about this, they're obviously explaining metaphors and similes. But what I love is look at the students' little sticky note examples. They just put them up there to show, hey, this is what a metaphor is. This is what a simile is. Is that not perfect? And one last one. This is on a poetry unit. And what I liked is the way this teacher did hers a little bit differently, didn't she? She's got how do I analyze poetry, tone versus mood. I love this. We are here. We are here. And what this teacher did is had these on the tables around as well. So what's the advantage of this approach? What it is when it's visual, we remember it, right? We're helping students bring order to way too much information that they couldn't order on their own. We're looking at it from a unit perspective. We're mapping out this is what it takes to be successful. And guess what? It's a much higher effect size. If you try to Google posting a standard, you're going to be up all night trying to find the research on that one. But if you look at concept mapping, teaching in context, how things relate, we did this yesterday, but it's helping me today on this, tapping into that prior knowledge. Now, it's not just about building them, it's about using them, right? So in the beginning of class, we go to our walls and say, hey, students, remember, we're enhancing our writing by varying our sentence structure. At the end of class, let's go back to our wall and let's see how's your writing looking on that. Now, again, I have put a ton of pictures for you on myedexpert.com. If you go in there, type in Susie Pepper Rollins or look for my face, and you're going to see a whole bunch of these that you can just look at because I can only do so many today. And you can see how much more effective this approach is than this, right? Than just posting something. I am so glad you joined me today. I'm excited about the opportunities for you to try these. I can't teach without them. I've even worked with leadership teams where they'll make a standards wall on their leadership mission. Thank you for all that you do for your students in your class. If you need anything, please let me know.